So last night, I had a very scary thing happen, and I'm not 100% sure what it was, but it reminded my friend and I of a clown, so that's what I will call it. Maybe some background would be good. Last night was New Year's Eve. I'm 22 and I had two other friends over, a girl we will call L, who is 20, and a guy we will call K, and he's 19. I also have a 6-month-old baby girl who was asleep in the bedroom. I live in a one-bedroom apartment in a bad part of town. There are many drug users and dealers around here, along with people who have rape and assault charges. It's not a safe place at night if you're a woman. My husband was at work and Kay was asleep. Elle and I are both short females, and we had stayed up smoking and listening to scary true stories on YouTube. The drapes were open on one of the two living room windows so that we would watch the moon and stars while talking. Yes, we were both smoking weed, but we both heard the same thing at the same time, so we knew it was not in our minds. The apartment's on a second-floor apartment, and the stairs come up past the living room, as the door is on the far side of the living room, and the window is across the room. This means you can hear anyone that is outside if you're sitting on the couch, as well as hear anyone on the stairs. Now, to the story. So as I said, we were relaxing and smoking, just having a good time. All of a sudden, we heard a very loud, creaky metal sound. The only thing we could think of was, it was one of those old-fashioned metal tricycles that were big in the 60s and 70s. This was confirmed to us when we heard two loud horn honks. Not like a car honk. More like these old horns you would put on your bike, and you would squeeze the bulb on one end to make the sound come out of the funnel-look thing on the end. Needless to say, she and I were both instantly freaked out. Since my apartment is set in a little pocket that most people ignore because they are single-bedroom apartments that are filled with only stoners. So to hear this outside, we were both really scared. The creaking sound got closer, and we realized we never locked the door. I then realized you could clearly see one of the two of us girls on the couch, since Kay had passed out from smoking. Elle whispered that the door was unlocked, and as I was getting up to fix that very issue, I stepped over Kay quietly, as she and I were both freaking out, but trying not to wake him or the baby up. Our bottom lock doesn't work, due to it being broke, so the only top lock works. I tried to quietly lock it, but as I touched the cold metal, we heard something take about 3 or 4 steps quickly and quietly up the stairs, as if whoever was coming up was trying to stay really quiet. My eye went wide and I clicked the lock into the place, which made a very loud noise in the quiet. Instantly, the sound of the steps stopped, and she and I looked at each other, completely panicked. I crept back over to her on the couch, trying not to have a panic attack. As soon as I reached the couch, Elle had whispered something to me. I don't remember what, because a moment after she spoke, we heard that metal creaking sound of the wheels turning, leaving from in front of my place. Then the two honks happened again, and once more a tiny bit away from the apartment. She and I rushed up to the window that is about 2 feet away, looking out in the dark to see what was going on. We saw nothing, but you can't see much from the window due to how the building sticks out on the right, and the left there is an overhang from the roof that blocks more. So we can really only see the parking lot. I muttered, "Fucking clowns, honking their..." I was cut off by the honking again, as it was suddenly louder, as if it was coming back. We closed the drapes fast and hid on the couch. Neither of us were willing to go out and see if it was still there, so we don't know for sure what it was. I don't care if it was a ghost, a demon, a clown, or anything even normal. This was very scary, and we both felt in danger from this person, creature, or thing. For as long as I live, if I ever hear that creepy metal sound, it will be too soon. Whatever you are, please, I never want to meet. Number 2. I work at a drugstore in a small town. Everybody knows everybody until you get a weirdo, and this guy was a total freak. It was pretty cold and rainy on the day he came in for a carton of eggnog. It was also slow for a Sunday. Only a person or two milled around in the store waiting on prescriptions. The man approached my coworker with change, a Bible, and his jug of eggnog. He paid for the eggnog, and when my coworker handed him his receipt, he stood scribbling on it. He seemed to be writing words because he was mumbling to himself, but they were only scribbles. He took his eggnog and then he left. He stayed in the parking lot chugging his eggnog, and about an hour later came back in this time to do a Western Union. Everything went about the same as before. He picked up his money, scribbled on the receipt, bought another thing of eggnog, scribbled on that receipt, seemed to be reading from his Bible. Then he left to hang around the store again. My coworker and I were putting out Christmas when we noticed the sliding doors are opening and closing repeatedly. I glance up to see the man standing there in the door. He's just standing there across top of the trash and sets his eggnog down and grabs his Bible. He turns, butts out a cigarette, and then enters the store. At this point, I'm only glancing at him from the corner of my eye, but I look up when I hear the sound of pounding sneakers. He's running towards my coworkers and I. I'm closest to him and he stops just short of me. He doesn't say anything. He's only laughing, and I'm yelling to my coworker to call the cops. He turns and leaves the store. The cops show up, but they didn't find him and we haven't seen him since. Our manager made the joke to the cops that he couldn't have been too bad because he was carrying around a Bible, and the cop replied with a snort saying, "Religious fanatics are the worst. They think they're doing the Lord's work when really they're doing the devil's bidding. So Scribbler, let's never meet again." Number 3. So I was about 6-7 when this happened. I live in a small suburb in Texas. Not much really goes on here. So on this night in particular, it was rainy, so my mom had all the windows open in the house. We have screens and storm windows, so we are safe. I was sleeping in my parents' bed because I had a bad case of strep, and my mom wanted to keep an eye on me. My dad is a cop, and I was working the night shift, so it was me and my brother and my mom. It was about 4 a.m. on Sunday. Wasn't light out yet, and my mom, the light sleeper that she was, woke up when our floodlight went off in the front driveway. She got up and hurried to the kitchen to look out the front window. She came back, running into the room. "Go to your brother's room now." I wasn't sure why I had to get up, but I obliged. At this point, our 3 labs in the backyard are going crazy and growling and snarling. Soon my mom comes back in the room, tells us to hide because there's someone in our backyard. She had already called the cops when we heard a knock at the door. It was the cops. They were already on their way, as they had been in pursuit of this man because he had assaulted his girlfriend at a local bar. The cop tells my mom, "Ma'am, you have someone hiding in your backyard that we believe to be dangerous." The police went around our house, apprehended the suspect that had been cornered by our dogs. The whole episode lasted less than 30 minutes. Apparently this man and his girlfriend were super drunk. He had driven away from the bar, called the cops because he hit his girlfriend and threatened her with a knife. So he turned off the main highway, turned his lights off, hoping to hide from the cops. He drove his truck into our front yard and attempted to hide out. Even though this guy had no bad intentions towards our family, it was still creepy as hell. Number 4. So this happened to me right after Thanksgiving. I work at a Hot Topic, and where we work is in a really crowded mall. And when I mean crowded, I mean this mall is crowded 24/7. So me and my coworker, we will call her Jen. So Jen and I were working the register, and as always, it's packed out the ass with people. So just 2 girls who are not taller than 5'2" can't keep out eyes on every single customer. So of course someone steals something out of the store. She tells me to go chase after the person, so I'm running after this guy, till I hear one of the mall cops say, "Go back to your store, I got this." So I did, and Jen looked at me with fear. I gave her a weird look back, and she said, "Lex, follow me to the back." So I follow her to the back. She puts her hands on my neck and shows me her hand. There was blood. I freaked out a little because I thought one of my gauges cut me, but it looked like it was from a razor or a knife. So I got myself cleaned up and went back to work. After we got through this hell of a rush, I went over to pull down the gate to the store, and I caught something out of the corner of my eye. It was this guy with a razor that had blood dripping down from it. I slammed the gate and Jen was like, "Are you okay?" I told her to come over here, and I didn't take my eyes off this guy. She walked over and she looked at him. She started freaking out and he moved closer to the gate. So we were kind of trapped. We couldn't go out the back door because it sets off this loud-ass alarm. So we were trapped there for half an hour till he left. So we waited another 5 to 10 minutes. So I asked her if she wanted me to drive her home, and she said yes. So as we're walking to my car, I see that my car was on Now My Car Won't Start. If this key isn't anywhere near it, my boyfriend has a spare key. So I started to panic. I walked closer to my car, and the razor blade was stuck inside of my door handle. So I carefully took it out and got in and drove Jen home. So creepy guy that cut my neck with a razor blade? Let's never meet, please. Number 5. So this happened to me a few years ago. I live in northern Canada. Yeah, it's cold. Anyways, when I was 12, I was walking home on my regular path when I saw 2 guys with ski masks chasing after me. I so freaked out and I just ran, looking back toward the 2 men. One of them yelled, "What's your name?" I gave them a fake one. From there I was on high power all the way home. I was so happy to see them go the opposite direction, probably because I was screaming like a maniac. When I got home, I didn't call the cops, and to this day I still don't know why. But I called my mom. She said everything was okay and not to worry. I still get the creeps walking through that area, but I go there less and less, because now I take a taxi to my home. My workplace is far away. So creepy ski-doo helmet guys, let's not meet. This is a Sinful Savant, guys. Hope you enjoyed that video. 5 semi-short stories. I just kind of wanted to mix it up a little bit, do something kind of different with this video. So please make sure to like, comment, share this video, guys, with as many people as you can, and subscribe to join the Sinful Nation. Keep the viewer subscriber stories coming, guys. My email's in the info box below. I'm featuring another video this week. Actually, I'm featured in another video. It's another collaboration with Joey's Nightmares, and it will be featuring stories from Bros Grimm, and that will be up Tuesday, guys. So thanks again for all the support. I just want to welcome all the new subscribers and say thank you. And all the comments, guys, are just making things so enjoyable for me. I really enjoyed doing this, and you guys make it so much fun. So until next time, guys, stay sinful.